My name's Hap, I'm 32 years old. I currently have no kids, but I'm married and will be looking to start my own family in the coming year. Am I ready to be a dad? I think as far as life goes, I feel ready. I'm now 32 years old, so I've got my 20s and all my travels out of my system, and I like the thought of being a father, and my wife and I will be looking forward to starting a family this coming year. I think for me, what scares me most about becoming a dad is I feel ready for it, but it's more of the responsibility, and for me it would be more of a financial responsibility, because I've decided I spent my 20s travelling, so I don't have a career behind me and an income, so that probably worries me the most, is the financial strains a child would put on the family in our life. I think I'd enjoy the most is just the teamwork, working with my wife as a team to bring up a child and instilling your or my values into the child and just seeing it grow. This little thing you've made, just seeing it grow into a human, I think would be pretty cool. I think my expectations of being a dad it's going to be pretty tiring. It's going to be a lot of amazing moments, but offsetting that is going to be a lot of like shit moments, like when you're tired and having to get up and only having 3 hours sleep. And I think I have those expectations, but I think it'd be interesting to talk to me after the first year of being a father and realising what the actual reality it is. It's easy for me to sit here and say, it's going to be tough, but I don't think I actually know how tough it's going to be until I've actually got a kid. And I think the other thing is going to be is like at the moment I only have to worry about myself at the moment, and all of a sudden it's going to have this little thing who's totally dependent on me. So yeah, that'll be an interesting move. What things do I most want to know? The things I most want to know about being a father, I'd love to know from other fathers, like what bit of advice would they give me right now? That's one thing I'd love to know, is like someone who's already had their children, what bit of advice would they give me now to someone who hasn't had a child? I think there's so much to learn from people that have already walked the walk. I've got a friend who's having a kid. He's having a child on Friday, or this coming Friday in 5 days. And he's going, I've got a dog, it should be right, I've had a dog, so I'm sure a child will be the same, but I don't think that's the case. But what would I want to know? I think everyone who's had every father will have different bits of advice that they'd be able to give me to help me. But the way I've always lived life is just kind of doing it when it comes along. So yeah, not too sure what I'd want to know. Well, there's so much to know, There's so much to learn, so much you need to figure out before having a kid. I literally don't have a clue. I haven't really been given any advice about being a dad. A lot of my mates now who are all in their early 30s are having children, and some of them say, you can read all the books and you try and do everything right. A lot of them just say, you just need to relax, and you have all these theories. Some mates, they read all the books on how to be a father and all the rest, but at the end of the day, I think if you try and follow everything, like, you've got to sing to your baby before putting it to bed, or don't feed him this, like, you end up being a big stress case, I'd imagine. Like, shit, am I going to make this little baby into a bad person further down the track if I do this or if I do that? I think it could probably end up being quite stressful being a parent if you want to do it perfectly. So I think the way I'd love to be a father, speaking from someone that doesn't have a child yet, is not to try and get too caught up and just do what I think is right for the child. What being a dad means to me is, my father, who brought me up, who I see as being an amazing father, he always had a theory that you should spend time on a child and not money. And I think it'll be a big philosophy when I'm a father, is I want to be the best father for my child and really be a role model to that child and just be there as a loving dad. And as always, support them in whatever they want to do. And I see a lot of parents, I think they come from a good place. They want the best for their child, but sometimes they put a lot of their own pressures onto the child. So I would hope when I'm a father and when I'm a dad that I can support my child and whatever endeavours they want to follow in their life. Basically whatever's going to make them happy without putting my expectations and my wants onto them.
Dad TV, where all dads go to talk about all things dads need to know.